This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Welcome to Lights, Camera, Reels. Some opinions in this podcast may piss people off and hurt feelings. Viewer discretion advised.
We're back. You know, the three amigos.
Is that what
How's
we're
everybody's
called?
days going?
Well, shit. It's two amigos and an amiga, right? Amiga?
Amiga.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Whatever.
So,
So,
three amigos.
it's three amigos. It is what it is. I don't really
Either
care.
way, I'm the
How's
boss.
everybody's day going?
Yeah, so how's everybody's day going here?
Just peachy keen.
Peachy, man. Peachy.
Usually? That's good.
You know, we're
We
just
have a
up in here living the dream.
we have a huge release to talk about today, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Let's talk about the Ugly Stepsister, because I wouldn't know anything about this if it wasn't for my madam over here hyping this film up.
I caught wind of this way before it was even on your radar.
No, it wasn't even in my eyes. And you were like, here's an article. I want to see this.
You know, just sliding it under
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
because according to, another Mrs., she said the same thing to me, apparently.
So this movie cleaned out the film festivals, cleaned out basically everything it was entered into. Then it got a 3 to 4 day theater run. 4 day theater run.
It was
a
a
week.
week.
It was
7
a
days.
week. Okay.
The whole
Yeah, it
week,
was full.
yeah.
Full 7-day theater run.
We didn't get a chance to see it. Damn it. So a very big thank you to Strike Media for sending us a
Thank you.
screener for this,
Appreciate
so
it.
we can do this review.
Much appreciated.
And you guys are the best. Thank you for being so nice. So why don't we start from the beginning? This movie starts out with probably the biggest opening sequence I've ever seen. Like, that's all I can say about it.
So, okay, hold on. A little bit of backstory. It is not your typical everyday Cinderella story. Okay?
Oh, no. No. Don't spit your water out over there, okay?
No, because
Just a heads
This-
up, there may be spoilers.
there may be spoilers. So
There will be a couple, maybe.
I don't care if we spoil it. Still rent this movie or buy a physical copy, because
Absolutely.
this movie is probably in
Oh,
our
yeah.
top 3 movies of the year.
I think
To
right
let
now
everybody
it's
know,
not-
it's got subtitles and it's not in English.
Hey! Stop reading all off my script.
it is still my top movie right now for the year.
There you go.
Yeah.
When the madam speaks, you listen.
It's very close for second, but I think right now it's number one.
It's number 1 for me.
I,
It has.
Come
to be
on,
number
Brandon.
one.
I think it's
Come on,
number.
Brandon.
I think it's number 2.
What's better than this? I'm waiting.
Just wait till you hear it.
Don't
We'll
don't
have-
keep the listeners waiting, sir.
We'll
No,
have
I think
another
Fairest
meeting
of
on
them
this.
all is still.
I think he needs another viewing of this, and then we can explain a couple things to him, and then it'll be
No,
fine.
Yes.
I think Fairest of
This
them
is a
all is still
movie,
my number
But the
one.
thing is that you did only watch it once.
We've watched it twice.
We
Yes, I
watched
did
it
only watch it once.
3 times. And
Yeah, I think-
each time you watch it, you pick up on something else.
And she picked up on something that we're not going to discuss here, because we want to see if anybody else picks up on it.
Absolutely.
Because she picked up on it and goes, "Look," and I go, "Well, fuck."
So, I told him after we finished watching it for the 3rd time, I asked him, did you happen to catch X, Y, and Z? And he goes, what are you talking about?
And then she's like, run it back. I got something to show you.
So I went to X, I went to Y, and I went to Z, showing him all of these pinpointed marks in the movie. And he goes, that just took this movie from an 8.5 to a 10.
Yep. And that's why it's my number one, because if you don't see what we're talking about at first and you see it after you watch it, you feel a little dumb.
I wouldn't say that you feel dumb. It's just
I guess I feel dumb then.
Because here's the thing.
It's a viewing experience.
Yes, but if you're not paying attention to it, and what we're talking about is a slow motion, like frame by frame,
Yeah.
and if you look at it, you go, "Well, I'm the dumbass here," because it's slow.
It's very.
Subtle.
I don't want to say the movie is cringy because it's a bad word to describe the movie.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no. It's not
But
cringy.
I can see why some people would cringe at it.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't know the backstory, you don't know the true story of Cinderella.
I cringe.
You're,
Oh, you did more than cringe.
cringed. We'll talk about it later.
But this is this is a lot more related to the Grimm Tale version of Cinderella.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
and I
absolutely.
I am loving what these independent filmmakers are doing with these Grimm Tales this year. Like, it is just chef kiss. Chef kiss to all the independents doing Grimm Tales right now. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Because we love independence here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Even though somebody wasn't really on board at first. But it's okay.
We're going to bypass that.
What are you talking about? Who?
Okay.
What?
You.
No.
So, let's
That
talk
person's
about
no
this
longer
film.
here.
Okay, so let's talk about how this film unfolds.
I'm just going to allow her to take this away because
Yeah.
this was her pride and joy for like.
So,
I'm not the host tonight, so I'm just going to sit back.
first of all, we see a lot of independent films be produced by men. This was produced by a woman, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Most of the casting is all female. And
Yep.
unlike other movies, you don't really have that cattiness in between the characters.
Yep.
You see some jealousy, you see some rivalry, but you don't see cattiness.
Yeah.
And I think that it brings the movie to another level of respect. Because each of the characters, whether they're a protagonist or an antagonist, whether they're... Actually, I can't even say that there was good and bad in this movie.
No.
There
there's
really
not
was
really.
no villain. It was more so of like a
Maybe a villain more to herself.
yeah, it was
I think
definitely a self
I think the
versus
villain
self
was
and self versus life
yes.
Yeah.
battle.
The
think it was more
villain
of a
was
villain
definitely
versus-
in the villain was in Elvira because she wanted to be pretty like everybody else. That's an internal struggle. There it is.
But it was also her against society.
Correct.
It wasn't just her against herself.
No.
I
it was
think
more
that-
like the society and herself.
And
mixed
she
in with one.
really wanted to be pretty and
Yeah.
popular like everybody else.
Yeah. and
I
you
think
can't
that
always get that.
in a way you can say that there was this animosity towards her mother from the Cinderella role
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could tell that right away.
due to the selfishness of how the
That,
story
and
unfolds.
then you have a big thing happen at the beginning, and it just hangs there the entire time.
Oh, it doesn't hang there. It lays there.
Well, you
And
know what I
I
meant.
was-
Like it lays there the entire
It's the
time, and nothing.
elephant.
It
It's the
lays
elephant
there.
in the room for an hour and 9 minutes, brother.
Yeah, and
It
nothing
lays there,
changed. Like
and
nothing changes.
you just see it deteriorate time and time and time again. By
Yeah,
the
but
way,
then
there is also an extra scene at the very
There is an
end.
extra scene at the
there is an extra scene.
So stay after the credits and enjoy
Stay
the music.
following.
Okay,
But the biggest thing was like that happened, and you could just tell the jealousy from the kids towards the mother right away because of that.
A little,
to
but
a-
not so in your
like,
face like the
no,
other
it wasn't
issues.
in your face, but it's like you could tell there's some type of there's tension between them.
Also, disclaimer: this movie is not for children.
No, not at all.
No.
And if you have a child that wants to see this,
Please do not.
please do not let them.
Under the age of 13, not permitted here.
I wouldn't. I would say under the
I
age
would
of
even say
16.
higher than that, maybe 16.
Like,
I mean, you will
I don't think
have.
it's rated R. I think it's unrated. to be
Yeah, I don't think it's rated at all.
Yeah,
yeah.
as it should be.
Actually, you know what?
But-
While we're talking on that, I'm gonna find out.
There are sex
I'm gonna
scenes.
Google.
There is.
Explicit sex scenes.
Yes,
Yes.
very. You can clearly tell what's going on.
No, you can.
Oh,
You
can
can tell,
definitely
you
tell
can
what's going on there,
see,
brother.
you can
Something.
everything.
But it's done tastefully.
It
Like,
Very
is
tastefully.
not rated.
the
As we
camera.
said.
I will say the camera angles in this movie are phenomenal.
Yes, camera
Absolutely.
angles are phenomenal.
What was the budget for this movie?
Don't know.
Okay.
But it was shot in Switzerland.
I'm gonna pull that back up real quick and see if I can get numbers on it real quick.
Okay. Because my thing is that camera shots make independent films stand out.
70 million. To
Okay.
answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at under six figures. We're looking at
Still, that's a
elaborate-
lot for an independent movie.
Is that in American dollars?
I don't think so.
No, that has to be in. Yeah, that has to be over there. So 70 million over there is a lot.
So it was only made with approximately 6 million US dollars.
Yeah.
If it's over their budget.
So okay, for $6 million, we got the camera angles, we got the characters, we got the storyline, we got the gore,
grittiness.
we got the grittiness.
Yeah.
This movie, I would not put it in necessarily a traditional horror
It's,
genre.
I
When
would
you-
say
when you-
thriller / body horror.
It's absolutely
that's
body horror.
number one right away. It comes up as body horror.
But if you go into it and you think it's going to be body horror, like some of the other independents that have come out,
Yeah.
I think that
This isn't-
viewers would be
this isn't-
disappointed if they walk into it with the same thought process. Because
No,
it's,
I don't think anybody's going
this-
to be disappointed with this film.
it's not like Saul's body horror. It's
mean,
not like
Already.
it's
I would put this in the same level, the same everything as The Substance.
So on the one site that I'm looking at right now, it's had 1,000 reviews.
okay. I think that if you go into it comparing The Substance to this,
Yeah, you can't really compare it
that-
to anything else that
because
you've
you
seen
have two
because
very different battles, you can't compare them on the same level.
Nah.
They're
Yeah,
both
you
very
can't
much
compare this
body
movie.
horror, but they're on completely different wavelengths.
Hmm.
Both
Yeah.
great movies, just different
Yeah.
wavelengths.
because
I think-
they're not both. I mean, they're both body horror, but one is self-conflicted body
Well,
horror.
I would say that
But
they're
you didn't
both
like The Substance.
I would say they're both self-conflicted.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like it. It just wasn't something that. It was confusing a little bit to me.
You would have to watch
It was-
it more than once.
Yeah,
gotta
it's still a
mo-
good. It's still a good movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just
You
was confused.
got to watch that twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so synopsis of this movie is it's very similar to an alternative perspective to the Cinderella story. Okay?
Mhm.
You see Elvira, who plays the role of one of Cinderella's sisters, go through this process of self-transformation to be able to make herself to look beautiful and presentable to the prince at this ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has another sister that comes with her when her mother marries the role of Cinderella's father.
Yep.
Very much to the fairy tale story that we're all used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have the ugly stepsisters, you have the stepmother, you have the father, you have Cinderella, and very much like a typical Cinderella movie or the more traditional Cinderella movie, you have the difference in the contrast in colors between the characters.
Yeah.
Cinderella is this bright, bubbly character that essentially sticks out like a sore thumb throughout
But I
the
didn't get
entirety
that
of the movie.
vibe. I didn't get that vibe in this one.
You didn't?
But the thing
No,
is
not
that
that she stuck out.
she stuck out because of the actions that she chose.
Yeah. Not like
So
she had like more vibe to her.
no, I'm saying that it's the same concept, just done in a very different way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Instead
Okay.
of her being the light, bubbly character
Oh,
that
all right. Yeah.
she chooses to partake in some
Darker.
questionable actions,
We're not going to give them away because we don't want you to
and
watch the film.
because
Yeah.
of this, she is seen as a lesser person to the stepmother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, as a result of this, essentially she's casted away from society
I got you.
and she's kept at home, essentially to be the role of the maid, Cinderella.
Yeah.
Um, then, as you see throughout the movie, the two stepsisters, one of them is all about beautifying herself, Elvira. And the other one kind of stands back in the shadows, just kind of existing. Watching Elvira go through these transformations, not really saying anything to deter the mother, not really doing anything to make her stand out. So you see a lot of the older techniques of beautifying in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And don't eat during these scenes either.
I mean, you can. I don't
That's
recommend it,
strictly
No.
on you.
No.
but you
No.
can.
No.
I
No.
highly recommend eating some spaghetti.
No.
Yep.
No. I don't recommend to eat anything because it will be back up on the floor.
Oh, you're just a little squeamish.
So backstory. The last 15 minutes is probably the most wildest 15 minutes I've ever seen in cinema.
I think it was longer than
You-
15 minutes, though.
Was it
I'm
15?
telling you,
I think it was like the
when you
last
see-
like 20 to
20,
25
25?
minutes.
Okay.
yeah, when
last
you
20,
see what
25
starts
films.
happening at the end, your body starts to cringe. You're like,
And
ah,
the
So-
sad part is that people do these things in today's society.
yes,
Yes.
but still, it's
So it's like it makes you wonder, like, how realistic is this image that occurs towards the ending?
gotcha.
And-
Yeah,
I have to say, coming from a medical perspective, where I've read articles and I've seen and heard of stories that pertain to this specific type of beautification, it's pretty darn accurate.
Yep.
yeah.
Illegal
I'm the only
here in the
one
U.S.,
out of the group here
but
that got almost sick.
but you're not a huge body horror fan.
No.
Well,
If
this
if
was
This was left field for you.
if
yeah.
I gave you a list of old body horror,
I would probably
you-
be the same way.
you would be the same way. It's not a new genre.
No,
It's been around for years.
Yeah.
But now we're getting independent films that are capitalizing on this and making it more mainstream.
And
more
because
available.
it isn't rated, it has less filters.
Yeah, because it's all in the public domain at this point.
It's not well.
It's not. I wouldn't even say it's public domain. It's more so of like,
You can make Grim Tales. Grim Tales are for everybody to make. You can do it. You can do one tomorrow. It's nothing about
Yeah.
copyrights right now.
Oh, okay. Well, but with using Cinderella's name, does that have anything
I don't
But
think so.
here's the thing.
Okay.
The character's name was not originally Cinderella. In the beginning of the movie, she was not called Cinderella. She was
Until
not
midway through it.
she was not called Cinderella until halfway through the movie, where she had already taken part in these nefandrous actions
Yep.
God. Okay. All right.
Yes.
and
I'm trying to
promoted.
remember if she actually
She was
said
being a
her
hoe.
name.
Let's face it,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
being a hoe.
She
Yeah.
was, if
If her name was actually being called Cinderella throughout the movie, but it wasn't.
Disney could not do anything with this film.
But here's
No,
the
no,
thing.
no, no, no. If you push this back to Disney and said, "Hey, make this a kids film," you're gonna get the original Disney.
Yes.
You're gonna get the animated film sent to your doorstep.
Yeah, that's what you're
This-
gonna get. You're not gonna get this differently.
This movie and movies that are like this, taking these traditional grim tales that Disney have spun to be the ideal children's movies, are
Yeah.
for adults that were raised on Disney and want more gore. This
Pretty much.
Oh yeah,
is
absolutely.
my type of movie.
Well, that's
The madam has spoken, so let's.
I'm putting the fist down. It's my type of movie.
It
This
is
what I
guaranteed.
want.
It is guaranteed by the madam. So
it's a guaranteed 10 for you.
let's talk about rating. What would you give this rating?
Like,
Out of 10.
okay,
Out of 10
Got
stars.
it.
Me, right off the bat, 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. So that's where I'm at. 9.5.
It's an easy one. Easy one for
It's
me.
easy. Yeah, it's easy. 9.5.
I would give it a strong 9.8.
Ooh. So
There's
what
only
we're saying is,
there's only one other movie that is on that level this year.
and we won't talk about it because we will save it for midway through the year.
Well, no, because we got another episode to do about
Yes, we
this
do.
movie.
Yes, we do.
So I will
We will talk about that later.
yes.
Yeah.
But I
But
give it a solid 9.8. The only reason I can't give it a perfect 10 is because the first time I sat down to watch it, I struggled with the pacing a bit.
the second time you seemed more interested.
See, I didn't have a problem with the pacing of this movie.
No, I didn't either.
I felt like the scenes that I honed in on the second and third time I watched it
hmm
just made more sense after I watched. Okay, so realistically, I didn't watch the ending of the movie the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched until the ball, and then I got distracted doing other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second time I watched it through all the way. The third time I watched it through all the way. And things that didn't make sense the first time I watched it, everything fell into place the second time. And
Yeah.
the third time I picked up on things that I thought I had picked up on the first and second time, but third time confirmed it.
So I'll have to
1000%.
watch it again.
Absolutely. I
Well,
think
And I
that
do recommend if anybody has already seen this, please watch it over and over again.
It will be available digital May 9th.
You may get a little sick, but that's beside the point.
But I feel like with the disclaimer that this is not for the squeamish, it's
1000%.
kind of watch
Yes.
it at your own risk.
Yeah. Because
Thank you.
I was squeamish. I admit it. Yeah. I
Thank
got
you to Shudder and IFC Films and Strike Media for making my friend almost vomit on my floor.
yeah.
But here's the thing, Brandon. I
You
have a
almost did
question
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Now that you know what to expect, if you were to watch it a second time,
I
would you
don't
have
think
the same reaction?
No.
I don't think I would have the same reaction until like certain scenes still would bother me, but I don't think it would bother me that bad to where I feel like my stomach's
Okay.
ready to go.
Ready to go. He's-
The
I
opposite, you know what I mean? It felt like everything was just twisting.
I think that this movie does really well playing on phobias.
yes.
Yes. And that's
If you have an eye phobia, definitely.
Yeah,
If you have
definitely.
a
If you got a
dentist
nose
phobia,
thing,
Yes.
yeah,
if you have a bug phobia,
yep.
1,000%. Does this film check all the boxes?
Oh, it
Yes.
checks all the boxes. This is something like we've talked about. You can never see this in a Hollywood movie ever.
Ever.
This is
and
so original. It's not even funny.
and the funny thing is that even though it's not needed, I could totally see a secondary movie happening with how it ends.
Please and thank you.
Like,
Yeah, I could see it.
would it still have the factors that the shock value that this one had? I don't know. It's a really high bar to set.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if it would blow people out of the water as big as this one. I
so
think some people would be expecting, if they did a second movie, people would expect the same type of hype to this movie to
Same
where
type of gore and same
here's my
type
yeah,
of.
it's gonna
question for
blow
you.
them away.
Well, I could totally see them doing a second movie on this
Hmm. Yeah, I could
just
see
because
that
of how
too.
it ends.
Yeah.
Would you rather them leave it alone like how Midsommar was left alone?
Mm,
Both movies
that's a
have
good one.
full opportunity to have a secondary follow-up storyline.
That's a good one.
But because of how well both movies are, can you really add a second movie to it without
I
ruining it?
No, I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think it's a one and done. Leave it alone.
yeah, I'm thinking the same thing because you're not going to be able to blow people out of the water as big as this one. You're not going to blow people away. You're not going to like shock them on what you
No.
see.
Follow-up question. Given that this is like a Grim Tale version of Cinderella,
Hmm.
how would you guys feel about seeing other Princess Grim Tales done the
Oh yeah, yeah,
same way by the same group of people?
Tell me where
thousand,
to throw the bank card.
1000%.
Can you see the storylines falling into place the same way that this one did and still
Thousand
having
percent.
that shock
Oh
value?
yeah, yeah,
1,000%.
1000%.
So,
Because you
okay,
could change, you could put this story, or not this particular story, but you can put something right along with it with
mhm,
another movie, like Snow White. You could put it right with uh,
I wouldn't
the
mind.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. You could do all those telltales right there.
I wouldn't mind seeing the ending of this movie tie into another princess story in like another town.
Nope. Give it to me.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
have
I would
some of
love
the
that.
characters from this storyline kind of migrate to a new town. Say, for example, not necessarily being what it is, but have them migrate to France
Yeah,
and they meet Belle.
yeah.
And you do the story of Beauty and the Beast and whoever migrates from one town to the next
See, they
becomes
could
like
do that easily.
townspeople.
Yeah, they could do that easily because Beauty and the Beast is very easy to go right
Right.
down that same road.
If they did a sequel to it, that is the direction that I would love to see them go in. Not
Yeah,
necessarily another Cinderella story and
yeah,
moving on to the next Grim Tale.
Yes, please. Same director, same producer, same cast, please. Just keep it rolling. Like that's all I can really. I'm speechless with this movie because it's so damn good.
Well, I can tell
yeah,
that you're speechless. You haven't said much.
Like
yeah. This movie
not a
was
lot of
definitely
movies has me speechless, but this one did.
no. This one definitely did for me too because it's like I said. This is something that I didn't expect. n- Didn't even hear of it until
We
When I
we
we
look,
heard
sent you
about it.
that
Like
trailer so fast.
yeah, that trailer came around and I was like, ooh, what's this?
so when
So
I look at independence,
Yeah,
there's two categories that I want them to fall into. Either one, they have to fall into originality,
Yeah.
or two, they fall into something very familiar but completely undone.
Yeah.
And I feel like there has been so many independent movies that have come out in the last year, year and a half, where they just, man, you guys are just killing it.
Yeah.
And this is why we like them more. Just saying. Anything else before we wrap this up? Because we just gave it a high 9.5.
Hey, I gave it a 9.8.
9.8, 9.5 from me, and a 9.5 from Brandon over here.
I can't recommend people from seeing this
Enough.
I recommend everybody, please check this
Go-
movie out.
It comes out May 9th on everything. Amazon, Apple TV. Physical copies are coming later.
Yep.
Shout out to Shudder, shout out to IFC Films, and thank you very much for Strike Media.
And
Appreciate it.
as always, if there's any movies that we recommend that you guys watch, shoot us a message.
lightscamerareels@gmail.com. See you on the other side.
Thank you for listening to Lights, Camera, Reels. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe.